Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Audio's good. Let's set the fix. They got time. I know how to fix something. Oh man, I fucked up. So weird that. What? Does it save? Trying to save until errors are. Oh, it's weird. What a weird thing to link asking. They're the same title. Ugh, so I have to fix that. Oh, that's annoying. Alright, I'll fix that later. Some other time. Because, like, this stuff's kind of broken right now. It's super broken. Fuck. Okay. Alright. 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 Okay. 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 What's this kind of music are we expecting today? Okay. Alright, now they actually able to fucking do stuff. Okay. Hello. Welcome. I haven't done Thiago's voice in forever. That's fine. I think it'll be pretty good. I gotta get him into another suit, so. $10,000 so much money. So much money. Wait, what's here? Oh. McGowan jalapeno bagel? I hate the way that sounds. Actually. Nah, I'm okay. I was thinking about like, maybe you should get a bagel. I wish there was a way to auto lock, like, the opposite. That's so weird. I wonder how that looks in like. That's so weird. That's so weird. Murdoch and ass. This guy's name is Murdoch and ass. It's Murdoch and ass. Okay. So stupid. I hate it. It's ridiculous. Okay. Nothing too crazy. Is it? Is there a patient? What's going on? Why'd that cop just like stop there? Super suspicious. I'm trying to remember, is there an ATM inside? I don't think there is. Fuck. What's weak? Shit. Okay. It breaks so fucking off. You. Oh, fuck. Okay, my bad. I meant to answer that, but well. Fucking the phone never works the way it does. Okay, now it works. Need to find a bank.
Thiago.
This
Thiago.
is... If this is spam, I do not wish to receive any kind of spam messages.
No. I just, I hear you're looking for somebody.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you may have the wrong number. if that is the case.
Alright. So your name isn't Thiago then?
Again, this is spam of some sort. I do not wish to participate in any kind of surveys of any kind.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna give you a warning right here. Whether you are or not, it's irrelevant. All I'm gonna tell you is that, if you are the person I think you are and you're looking for my friend, if you try to do any harm to her, I will kill you.
I'm sorry, but the police will probably not enjoy something like this if you were trying to spam call me of any sort.
No, this will be the last time I call you unless something else comes. That's all I'm gonna say. You have a good day.
Just to get a fucking knife. It's only 50. Is this 100? Maybe? takes forever. Oh shit, final. And that guy ate dirt, bro. What the fuck? I guess I'm the one on this song. That man ate dirt. That's funny. Dude, is everybody eating dirt right now? What the fuck's going on here? Scratch my leg. Why does my game look so different? going on? Why is there so many? Judge A. Young and Judge T. Sring. Should write that down. I guess there's new judges, cause is it another anonymous call? Yeah. Let me call Young. God damn it. Ugh, it's bugged. Sring? Siring? I'll try calling this one. Dude, why is it?
Hello, this is Judge Searing.
Oh, perfect. Hi, Judge Searing.
Yes, hello, how can I help?
I was curious to know, I was told by a Brookwood Law School member to, call one of the judges for a scheduling of the bar exam. It is, I don't know how it, usually goes, but that's what I was told.
Sure, so, when we host one or we have an impromptu one, it typically takes place at the courthouse. I know there's another judge on right now. I'm about to go into a court case. Magistrate Judge Alfie Young should be able to help. I know he is currently doing one. I'm unsure if he's available for another one tonight. It typically takes about an hour, though.
Okay, perfect, yes, no, thank you again. Good luck on
Of
your
course.
court case.
Yes, and if you can't get that scheduled with Judge Young, just give me like a text or a call and we can get one scheduled for you, okay?
Sure, thank you.
Of course, you have a good day, sir.
You as well. What was I doing? I was saving this number. Wait, I don't even think I can. Okay, I can. Sorry. 1606 0612 286. Judges. And then the number is A. Young, Anthony. Make sure to write that down real quick. A. Young. Thanks, Anthony. I feel like jackets like this. Hmm. Oh, it matches. Wait, what the fuck? Really? I go with gray and light gray, or light gray, light gray? Dark gray, light gray. And then pants. This is gonna bug me out. I think I have to fix the t-shirt. Oh. Shit. Might be broken. Shit. T-shirts usually are fucked up. It's not my favorite, but it doesn't necessarily. It does actually match. So it's not too bad. Shit. I wish the tie was maybe a different. Is that green or? It's green? Is that correct? Good dark brown, I think. Okay. Hello, God, fuck, right when I'm texting these things. Hold on. I don't really. Plus, he wouldn't answer at this point. So. God. Oh, I'm trying to fucking do the text. Rock touring. Exam. I was forwarded to you. In order to schedule bar exam date and time. Okay. If they call one more time, I'll answer. I'll answer in order to get them off my back about spam calls. We'll see what happens. See if they call. They've been calling a lot, so maybe they'll call again. I wish the fucking place was up. Dude, look at the fucking boat. I really like this playlist. Mikey's pills. I call Hispanic. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Penny. I have to save the outfit. I forgot to do it. Yo, what's up, Black Hispanic? How you doing? Let me. I don't know who that is, but keep it rolling. Do I need gas? I think I need gas. I gotta go to the cooling station. It's not. This one. Go this one. Sorry about today's. I'm a little quiet today because my voice. What happened to Joey? I still play Joey. I was on him a couple days ago. About a week ago. This is the second character that I have a story arc for. But yeah, I still play Joey. I'll probably switch to Joey later. Later in like maybe an hour or so, if there's stuff to do with Joey. But I'm not sure if there is. I've been kind of going through a little block in terms of like not really like a lot of RPs happening. I think mostly because like I think that's mostly because people are like I guess waiting for 2.0 or something. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, no, I mean, Joey is available when he's available. For what the fuck? I have to see the outfit. I forgot to do that. Why is all this parking so like that? But yeah, when I'm on Joey and you know, if you know, things will happen. To save the outfit. One of the worst things to do is that I can't save the outfit. I forgot to. Fucking stupid. How do I not have anything saved? What the fuck? This is the best way I can save any kind of outfit. Okay. I hate this shirt. Introduce Joy as my friend of mine? Yeah, I'm down. Yeah. It kind of sucks that, like, 2.0 is, like, so close. Because, like, part of me is like, damn, I would have loved to have 2.0 happen. 2.0 would be great if it was happening sooner rather than later. Yeah, they're kind of like holding back, which is kind of like why I'm not playing Joey's, because I think most people are just kind of like holding it in for a little bit till afterwards. Which is fine. I don't think that's a problem. I'd rather prefer it. So. And this character I've kind of taken really slowly. Kind of play him on and off when I can. When I'm available to be able to, so I kind of play. Yeah, thank God it's not like a memory wipe, because yeah, that'd be super weird. I would not be a fan of that if it was a memory wipe. Because I think memory, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there's like definitely a time and a place for it. Like, especially like, I don't think it's a bad thing, right? In some contexts. In some contexts. I think context and context are plural and singular. But yeah, so in some contexts it's really good, but I think that if it's just an economy thing, plus like the businesses will stay. You know, because if it was like a memory wipe, then all the businesses would be like wiped out. Like they would have to stop being a business, completely. Money in cars, yeah. Basically, it's just money in cars. That man almost, I literally saw that guy get fucking hit. that guy was 2 seconds away from getting hit. Yeah, it would have been nice. Cause like, a full economy wipe without like memories is kind of, like, at least everybody should at least pick one car. But like, part of me feels like they want to like start up the car stuff again, and kind of, to be frank, like a lot of people with like fancy cars would still have the fancy cars, so it's kind of like it feels like it's a good thing if everybody has like I guess if you think about it, it's kind of like nerfing everybody because now nobody can like do anything, but in the same sense of like nerfing everybody, it means that nobody can like really do anything without like a car, right? Like it's kind of fucked up that like any street racers have to like start from the beginning. Like they can't continue with their storyline, so like they have to like get another car again. It's like that's the part that doesn't make sense. It's like, wait, they wiped the economy. We don't get to keep at least one car. So we don't get to keep at least one car. So like any street racers or like people that have any storyline can't kind of like, they have to spend like the first month grinding, rather than like, well, no one owns Mosley's. They kind of, the from what I know, and this is like inside info, is that like Mosley's isn't a thing, and it's going through auction right now. So, and Mosley's has been a disaster in terms of like management. And by management, I don't mean like management of the person who owns it. It's management of like the situation has been pretty piss poor apparently. So Mosley's might not even have an owner going into 2.0, which is a little unfortunate. Oh, they closed App Store, so someone's getting it? Yeah. Yeah, so maybe someone is receiving it or getting it, so it's not too bad. Gotta make it right here, right? Yeah, okay. If they eat and stay. We'll make it. Yeah, someone will own it. Yeah, we'll see who owns it. I don't know who bid on it, so. But someone bid on it. I'm sure they'll make a lot of money. They'll make a lot of money for it, definitely. What is with all these like people kind of parking at weird ass places? I'll be hunting running bands. Gotta get in the washroom. Yeah. It's basically everybody's playing. I'm trying to go through all the emos. I feel like... What's the one? I have to like bind... You know, I should write a list of all the emotes. Hold on. That's what I'm gonna do. It's emotes. Ow. I think adjust is the one. Adjust tie. Okay, let me write a list really quick. Because I've been meaning to write a list, but it gets kind of... Cheer? Chin up? What's chin up? Oh, that's... no. Countdown? It's weird. I think it's cross arm 5 is the one. Yep. That looks weird. The finger? The fuck? Flip? Hammer? Oh. If they hit hammer again, so like, there we go. I think there's a bunch of idle ones, right? What's inspect? That's actually not too bad. I've been meaning to like write this down, so investigate. That looks weird. Shit, I said I was gonna answer this one.
Hello?
Hello.
Who is this?
Who's this?
I asked first.
If you were trying to solicit me, I would wish to not be solicited at this moment.
It's just a name I need. Don't need any money. Don't need anything else. Just a name.
I will not indulge you in this.
What do you want in this city?
I just wish to find my baby sister, is all. So, if you have any information, that would be great. If not, I would not like to be solicited.
How much is this information worth to you?
A lot.
We'll keep in touch.
Alright, I was going through emotes, was I not? Okay. 1, 2, 3. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 6. Where's the one that everybody uses that's really good? Lift? Look out. Made me. Mechanic. Medic. Metal blow. What is the fucking... There's one that I can't ever fucking remember what it is. Ooh, that's a good one. I really gotta save these. Point down. What's point right? What? Oh. There's nothing. It's a pretty bad one. Punching, push, rabbit. What is the fuck? Oh my god, it's the one that like... Salute? No. Salute 2? No. Salute 3? No. Scared. Sit. I can't fucking remember it. It's pissing me off now. I think a car just spawned in my way. Stumble, stunned. Is this stretch? No, it's not stretch. It's not stretch. Superhero? No. Think? No. Think is not too bad though. Hold on. What's the think? Which one? I think it's one of them makes you're able to walk. Right? I think 4. You think it is? Yeah, I think 4. That's a good one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So I have one more. I think 4. I wish I knew what what the hell is this? Okay. Now I have to emote bind. No. Never again. No. Okay. Alright. How do I... Oh, was emote bind? Emote bind. So num 4 through... Okay, so... Emote bind. Num 4. Just... Num 7. Okay. Emote bind. Num 6. So if I check it, it should be adjust. Yep. Getting impatient. 7 is that. So hold on. Adjust tie, cross arms, impatient, point down. Shit. Here we go. I think that kind of clears all my A-bills, right? Okay. Yep, it does. Awesome. Nice. Looks a little weird, but I think this one is... Yep, cross arms. This one is, I believe, it is impatient, which is fine. This one is point down. And inspect. And this one is think. Okay, cool. I was worried about that. I heard your ass is fake. She just at herself. Fucking Miranda. Let me see. No text messages back. The place I go to, which is fucking Hanging Gardens, is not open. I'm gonna go to the courthouse. If there's a court case, I'll sit there and watch it. If it is a public court case, which this is strange. It was a green light, was it? No, it wasn't. What the fuck was that? Dude, that was a green light up until like 2 seconds ago. Who's that guy? Is it a player character? It is a player. I was like, who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is that guy? It looks like Luke, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, there we go. Dude, this has been a fucking red light the whole time. Are you serious? There's red lights everywhere. This red light has been here. It's a fucking 1, 2, 3. One. What? This 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 5-way road. And this fucking sit here. This fucking thing. Thank you, fucking Lord. Should take the street up here, actually. Jesus, what is that? Like, fucking annoying so much shit. I think it's actually 1 street down. Hold on. We could park across the street. See, this shit kind of pisses me off, where it's like bud like this. It's like a green. It's a red light before it's a green light every time. How the fuck do you even? I guess I should just like. Why is there cop? What was I testing? What I want to see? I'm just gonna store my vehicle here. She's like sprinting in there. I was so worried about getting hit by a car.
Okay. So, with
Is this a
with the
public
vehicle
court
itself
viewing,
and
or-
the deer there, now you said you do have clear line of sight. Could you tell me what injuries the deer was suffering from when you attended to it?
Upon closer inspection, I did see that the deer
excuse me,
was
madam.
bleeding both
What's
out
up?
of its eyes and ears.
Is this a public court
indicating
viewing?
like
Yeah.
it was struck by
Yeah.
something.
Well, the
So
doors.
no weapon entry points like a bullet
locked.
or an arrow.
Yeah, it's
upon,
because they have to
feeling,
search
like,
us.
It's
Yes.
like its torso.
Mm.
Well,
I could-
patience
Objection,
is
Your
the
Honor.
key.
None of this evidence is in the record, whether through the indictment or through other proffering of evidence.
Your Honor, we have an expert witness
I think 6
describing
for this.
hands-on what the scene
four.
was. The ranger report itself is an arrest report, not an animal necropsy.
No,
We're
no
providing-
objection. No objection to the expert.
Mr. Murdoch, can I actually finish my rebuttal, or are you going to continue to object to me being able to perform my job of responding to
Apologies,
you, sir?
Mr. Cortez.
Thank you. Without a state-backed authority for necropsy, in order for us to establish injuries as per
I know.
what the
I'm
charges
fine.
are, rangers
It's
are our
habit with
sole
me, I'm
expert
duty.
witness. As such, this
Yeah,
evidence
yeah,
is
I'm willing to
vital
sit in
to
him.
establishing
Same as
exactly
present
what
for
was
me.
occurring on scene, and will
You don't have to put your hands up either.
we believe
it's okay.
is valid and should not be stricken from the record. Your Honor.
And you were good also.
Okay.
Your Honor, the defense argues that this evidence should have been provided at any time during the discovery process, and that the discovery rules require that the prosecution provide during discovery any and all evidence it intends to use to prosecute the defendant. The defense does not dispute that the defendant or the witness is qualified to provide this testimony, but rather the timing of the proffering of the evidence.
Right, as this is testimony and the ranger is testifying as to what he saw and witnessed, I will be allowing it. If you need the question repeated to you, actually repeat the question for me, and then you can answer it.
Absolutely, Your Honor. So, Ranger Evers, as you had the defendant in sight, you also assessed the deer. What injuries had the deer occurred?
Okay. So I checked over the deer, and it was bleeding from eyes and ears, as well as when I checked its torso, its rib cage was cracked. I could feel broken bones. And then upon checking the vitals and checking to see if the deer was breathing, it was no longer breathing, and I had no pulse, so no heartbeat was inside the animal.
Now, Ranger
it-
Evers,
Oh,
sorry,
go ahead.
carry on, sir.
The injuries indicated something of like something hitting the animal, and I did check for weapon wounds like bullets and arrows, and there were none.
So, in your experience, you have seen these type of injuries before, say, if a motor vehicle struck a deer.
On the daily, to be honest.
Okay. Now, after assessing the deer, Ranger Evers, what happened next?
That is when I called for backup, as I believed that Mr. Sharp was intoxicated, as I could smell alcohol clearly on him as he approached me, and with his nature of how he was walking with kind of like a wobbly stance, I did call for assistance just in case, because some people who are drunk are mean drunk, some people who are drunk are nice drunk. So we always prepare for the worst.
And that was when Ranger Fox advised that he would respond to you.
Correct. That is right.
Between Ranger Fox's response that he was going to assist you on this call, how long did it take for Ranger Fox to arrive on scene? To the best of your
Again,
recollection, sir.
maybe a minute and a half, about the same time. He came the same way I did, with his lights.
Okay. All right. Now, during this period of time before Ranger Fox arrives on scene, you've assessed the animal. What occurred next? Did you approach the defendant, or did you continue to assess the scene?
I continued to assess the animal, probably for another 30 seconds or so. And when Ranger Fox had appeared kind of down the road is when I approached Mr. Sharp, and he again just kind of started talking to me, and I made just small talk with him, not asked any questions.
Okay. Now, just so that I could clarify with you there, Ranger Evers, when you say small talk, could you provide an example, if you recall, of the conversation?
It was basically him talking to me and me responding with, "Okay, yes, okay," like things like that.
Okay.
More,
And
I was responding to his statements.
okay. And during this time, is that when the defendant provided to you his occurrence of events without any prompting of yourself?
That is correct.
Okay. For the record, could you please provide your recollection of what was told to you prior to Ranger Fox's arrival?
So prior to Ranger Fox's arrival, uh, after I had approached Andrew Sharp, he had told me that he struck the deer on purpose, and he was out on that road to hunt. Is the reason why he was out there.
Okay. And when the defendant provided that information to you, what did you respond with at the time?
I just simply said, "Okay."
Okay. And you never at that point advised him he was being detained, that he was in custody?
He was never in custody, so I did not advise him he was in custody.
And at no point at all did you ask him any questions related to the incident?
Absolutely not.
Did you ask him any questions that may have been seen to try and elicit a response?
Absolutely not.
Now, Ranger Evers, being that you are essentially the eyes for us today, again, I need you to cast your mind back. In your assessment of the scene, and please do refer to the photos, do you recall any indications either on the vehicle or the ground leading up to the impact point that indicated that Mr. Sharp decelerated, skidded, or in any way attempted to avoid the collision with the deer?
Based on where the tire treads were, and kind of the form of them, when somebody skids, you lose that pattern of the tire. There was no skid marks of said tires, and the tread marks led to the animal in a straight line. There was no like swerving at all.
And at that point, with what the defendant, Mr. Sharp, had told you, did you reasonably suspect at that time that that matched up with his story?
Uh, at the time, I believe, based on him saying that he had struck it on purpose, and kind of everything that I had gathered around him, that I did believe him when he said that he struck it on purpose.
Okay. Now, a few more questions from myself. When Ranger Fox arrived on scene, now we do have from the report that Ranger Fox was the one that continued to deal with Mr. Sharp. Was that a decision that you made? Was it a decision that Ranger Fox made to continue dealing with Mr. Sharp while you processed the scene or conducted other activities?
It was something we mutually decided upon. I was trying to also prepare the animal, and kind of protect the evidence, I guess, if you will. The word that I'm looking for escapes me at the time, but basically, I was preserving the evidence of the animalize. It was the thing that Mr. Sharp had hit on purpose, and I went then to market and kind of create a crime scene, if you will.
Okay. And during this time, did you overhear or witness Ranger Fox Mirandize Mr. Sharp?
That is correct. He did indeed Mirandize him.
Okay. Now, did Ranger Fox Mirandize Mr. Sharp to your assessment as a senior ranger within all policies and procedures of the San Andreas Park Ranger Service?
1000%.
Okay. Now, what if you can recall, or if you were present there for it when he was Mirandized, did Mr. Sharp's story that he provided to Ranger Fox at the time deviate in any detail from what he had provided to you at vehicle side?
No, it did not. He
Did not.
reiterated what he said to us before Mirandized, and what he had told us on his own.
Bear with me for one moment. I'm just going to check with my colleague if he may have some questions for you, but thank you so much for your time so far.
Oh, thank you.
If it's
All right, Ranger Evers, just a couple more questions if I could, sir. I understand you've been here for a while.
Absolutely. It's all right.
All right, now you did mention during your testimony that Mr. Sharp smelled of alcohol and appeared physically to be exhibiting signs of intoxication. Did you administer any roadside sobriety tests to Mr. Sharp?
Yes, we administered 2.
Okay, and what were those tests?
The first one is the one where we have the person in question keep their head straight, eyes looking head forward, and to follow our finger only with their eyes. Mr. Sharp had turned his head on multiple occasions. I stopped the test, tried to correct him turning his head. I said, Andrew, I need you to follow with just your eyes and not your head. I then restarted the test. He again then proceeded to follow with his head turning instead of only just his eyes. At that point, after being explained the test multiple times and failing multiple times, we deemed that test a failure. The second test is the heel to toe test, where the person in question is to walk in a straight line with their arms down by their side, going heel to toe in a straight line to a certain point, then turning around 180 and returning heel to toe. Mr. Sharp could barely keep his balance, and we deemed that test a failure as well.
Okay. Now, did you attempt during your field sobriety test to conduct one using and please excuse my terminology here, I know it may be incorrect, but I believe they're called a field testing unit, also known as a breathalyzer, where one would blow into a device to measure the alcohol concentration?
We did let Mr. Sharp know that he could indeed do this, as after he failed the second time, we never told Mr. Sharp that he had failed. We just told him that it was all done. We then asked if he would be up for a breathalyzer, which would be on his own accord, that he would agree to or disagree to. Mr. Sharp said that he had exited the hospital with lung surgery earlier in that day. And such, I said, well, then it is up to you, Andrew, if you want to. If you feel like you are not strong enough or it is too dangerous, then I advise you not do this. He said at the time that he would not do it because he does not believe that his lungs would be strong enough to be able to do a proper blow into the machine. And so we held off on doing that until we returned to Beaverbush Station, where he asked to do a breathalyzer.
And with the breathalyzer at the Beaverbush Station, now, as I understand, a reading was obtained. Do you recall what that reading was?
Vividly, it was a 0.07, which is just under
Ooh,
the legal.
just
So
under.
he was good, which is why we did not charge with any operating under influence charges.
Okay. And just for the record for the court as well, could you advise me, sir, what the legal blood alcohol limit is in the state of San Andreas?
It is 0.08.
So, with that in your mind, he was fully cognizant and aware, even though he had ingested alcohol, he was legally responsible to be operating a motor vehicle.
In the eyes of the law, yes. He was
just,
within legal. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Just another question in regards to his statements waiting for you by the car. Do you believe that Mr. Sharp was in a heightened state of stress?
He seemed to be slightly fidgety. Kind of like with his arms. Was talking a lot with his hands.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he was going through a really rough week. He said that he had lost his job recently, and that he was out on the trail to hunt to kind of take his mind off of everything. And he had also mentioned earlier in that day, after exiting the hospital, he was also robbed by a South Side gang by the name of the Ballas.
Okay, alrighty. Now, with the statement that he made to you there, where you said he's been fidgety, did it strike you at all that he may have been in a situation where he could have pre-planned what to say to you rather than being
Objection,
upfront
leading.
and honest?
I'm sorry, repeat the
I don't.
question.
Your Honor, I was asking that when he was making the statement that, as Ranger Avarice had just said, he appeared fidgety, whether, in Ranger Avarice's opinion, he may have had time or seemed to have pre-planned the statement in any way.
Objection calls for conclusion and leading.
You have a rebuttal, Mr. Cortez?
Well, I mean, my rebuttal on this one, Your Honor, would be quite simply that as a law enforcement officer, it's well within the Rangers' purview using their investigative skills to be able to determine whether something may have been a pre-planned statement to elude or preclude or discontinue someone from being a suspect. I'm just simply asking the Ranger, in his very professional opinion as a senior Ranger, whether that statement merited any kind of those concerns from him or whether it was a genuine utterance.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. Move on to the next question.
Okay. No further questions from myself, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Murdank, your witness.
Good evening, Senior Ranger Avarice. I really appreciate you being here tonight for this trial.
Good evening.
You holding up okay? You need any food or water before we keep going?
Oh, I should be okay. I'm a pretty tough.
All right, I've got several questions for you this evening. I'm going to try to be fairly quick about them so that we don't have to spend any more time here than necessary, all right?
Sounds great.
All right. Did you receive a 911 call expressing concern about an injured deer?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
Your Honor, the defense is entitled to establish, again, the set of facts that may prove its case.
Overruled. Answer the question.
Yes.
Did Andrew Sharp place the 911 call about the injured deer?
That is what was relayed to us, that it was a Mr. Andrew Sharp that was the caller of the 911 call.
The answer is yes.
I guess the answer is yes then.
Thank you. Did Andrew Sharp indicate that he was concerned for the well-being of the animal at issue in the 911 call?
Yes.
Did Andrew Sharp refer to the situation as an accident in the 911 call?
In the 911 call, yes.
Did Andrew Sharp indicate any intent in the 911 call to abandon the animal at issue?
Not what was relayed to me, so no.
Prior to arriving on the scene of the 911 call, did you have any reason to believe that Andrew Sharp had intentionally hit the animal?
No. The call said that it was an accident.
Thank you. Have you personally seen any other case for animal cruelty taken to trial in Los Santos?
Objection irrelevant, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the harm must be egregious in order for the prosecution to prove its case. The defense intends to argue that the harm at issue is not egregious by the standards of Los Santos based on the prosecution's decisions not to prosecute related incidents and the frequency of occurrences where animals are harmed.
Repeat your question before I rule.
Have you personally seen any other case for animal cruelty taken to trial in Los Santos?
Objection sustained. Move on to the next question, Mr. Murdoch.
Have you familiarized yourself with the phrasing of the statutory charge for animal cruelty?
Yes. I know what it means.
Are you able to repeat the phrasing to the best of your ability?
To the best of my ability, I mean, I can paraphrase. Otherwise, I can pull up the MDT and read it to you.
Paraphrasing is just fine.
When somebody
Objection, Your Honor. Speculative. He's asking for someone to sit there and on the spot immediately and accurately recall fact when law enforcement in the MDT have charges implicitly laid out so that they can confirm their accuracy. There's no way that he could possibly expect for him to make that statement and is knowingly trying to mislead.
Your Honor, the prosecution just spent a good amount of time arguing that Mr. Avarice here is an expert witness, and I strongly believe that he is an expert witness and that he is qualified to testify about his personal knowledge of the
Sure.
charge
If he's an expert
and
witness, yeah.
whether or not it is appropriate in this instance. My next question is also going to be, would you like me to read it to you, if he doesn't know it?
Objection overruled.
Feel free to
You can ask the
paraphrase.
question.
Okay. It is when someone admittedly, purposefully takes the life of an animal without the, I guess, purpose of hunting it for sport.
That's a good effort, Ranger Avarice. Unfortunately, it's not quite right. Is it okay with you if I read it out to you?
Sure, you gotta go slow though.
No problem. It is unlawful to intentionally inflict egregious forms of harm towards any domestic or wild animal. This includes, but is not limited to, maliciously crushing, burning, drowning, suffocating, impaling, torturing, maiming, and or mutilating an animal. Does that sound right to you?
I believe you if you read it from
Objection.
the laws.
Counsel's testifying.
Your Honor, we can pull it from MDT if we need to. This is an inquisition into the competency of the Ranger.
Your Honor, we also would object that it's going to become argumentative that he is trying to disprove. He's just admitted that he considers him a special, an expert witness in himself, and he's now sitting there and saying that he is trying to disprove the fact that he's an expert witness, whilst also testifying as to the nature of the charge, Your Honor. I mean,
To be clear, I didn't say he's not an expert. The competency issues will be related to future questioning.
All right, we're going to move on. Sustain.
Okay.
The objection is sustained.
Do you have an opinion on what the definition of the word egregious is, specifically in the context of how it is used in the charge for animal cruelty as an expert?
objection speculative.
He's an expert.
It's also beyond the scope, Your Honor.
Mm, Sustain.
If you'd like us to clarify further, Your Honor, we can.
No, there's no need overruled.
Ooh.
Do you have an opinion on what the definition of the word egregious is, specifically in the
Okay.
context of how it is used in the charge for animal cruelty?
Do I have an opinion? No.
Okay. Do you believe that a law enforcement officer without an opinion of the definitions of the charges is competent to testify about whether an individual has committed the offenses described by the charges?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever accidentally hit an animal while driving?
No.
Never?
No. Kind of goes against my whole ranger thing.
Your Honor, objection scope. The witness is not the one that's on trial here for hitting an animal. To sit there and ask whether or not there's any relevancy to that, let alone the fact it was never brought up in direct.
Your Honor, the defense is entitled to prove its case, and it's relevant to determine whether or not the harm at issue is egregious.
Repeat the question you asked.
Have you ever accidentally hit an animal while driving?
Overruled.
Congratulations on not ever hitting an animal while driving. It's very impressive. I know that even while, not intending to, it happens.
Objection, Your Honor, battering the witness.
Oh, I'm congratulating him.
Move on, Mr. Murdank, please.
I'm trying.
Okay.
Have you ever, would you say, in your best approximation, that the residents of Los Santos regularly strike animals with their vehicles? As an expert.
I mean, I don't gather statistics based on everybody's lives and how many they hit, but people do hit animals on accident. Yes.
Sure. Would you say, in your best approximation, that residents of Los Santos regularly intentionally strike animals with their vehicles? As an
Objection,
expert.
Your Honor, speculation.
Ooh, yeah, no, that is speculation.
Approximately how often do the Rangers receive calls about animals hit by vehicles?
Objection, Your Honor, scope.
No, that one has to be.
Your Honor, as
overruled.
before, this is about whether the harm is egregious.
We withdraw the objection.
Approximately how often do the Rangers receive calls about animals hit by vehicles?
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable. line of
As I
questioning.
don't work every day, I can't say every day because I'm not there some days, but the days that I do work, we do get calls that animals are hit quite often.
Okay. Approximately how often do Rangers discover, in your best approximation, animals that have been hit by vehicles in hit and run situations?
Each situation is different. I couldn't give you an accurate answer.
Could you guess? As an expert, based on your experience?
As hit and runs, lower than
As hit and runs.
lower than accident people staying around. I talk to more people than I have to investigate hit and runs on animals.
Interesting.
I would.
Do
push
you
on this one.
believe that most residents of Los Santos place a call to the Rangers every time they hit an animal with their vehicles, intentionally or unintentionally?
Okay, that's a good. That's
Yeah.
a good way to press the issue.
Objection, Your Honor, speculation.
It's his expert opinion, Your Honor.
Your Honor, he cannot be expected, even in his expert status, to testify upon every single incident.
It's a generalization
Sustain.
asking.
If an individual hits an animal with their vehicle and places a 911 call about it, would you generally assume that the person did so intentionally?
Nope. I give everybody their chance to explain the situation.
I appreciate that. Did you tell Andrew Sharp to stand against your truck?
For his safety, because he was wobbling, yes.
Please stick to yes or no answers unless I ask for further information. Thank you. Is it possible that Andrew Sharp did not feel free to leave after you told him to stand against your truck?
I don't know how he feels.
Is it possible, in your expert opinion, based on the fact that you have held multiple people in custody and given orders on a regular basis, that Andrew Sharp did not feel free to leave after you told him to stand against your truck?
Again, I can't tell you how Andrew felt.
Let me be more clear about the question. I'm not asking you to testify about how he actually felt. I'm asking you to testify about whether, in your expert opinion, any individual person who you tell to stand against your truck in a situation where they may be scared or shocked might not feel free to leave.
Objection calls for speculation on behalf of the witness.
Sustained.
Did you ask any questions of Andrew Sharp after asking him to stand against your truck?
I did not.
Objection asked and answered. Direct. He stated numerous times when asked by the state whether he purposefully asked any questions after telling the defendant to wait by the truck, of which the witness has identified that he did not.
Overruled. You can answer the question again.
Did you ask any questions, whether intended to be interrogatory or otherwise, of Andrew Sharp after asking him to stand against your truck?
I did not.
Did you ask Andrew Sharp what happened for the second time after asking him to stand against your truck?
For the second time, I did not. I was focused on the deer.
Did you or do you have any reason to believe Andrew Sharp could have been emotionally vulnerable or otherwise mentally unstable at the time you questioned him?
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation. Yes, he's an expert witness, but he's not a psychologist. You can't expect him to be able to sit there and pinpointly identify what Mr. Sharp's mental capacity or state may have been other than what he's already offered in testimony.
Your Honor, law enforcement officers are specifically trained not to question individuals without Mirandizing them first based on the fact that they could be vulnerable and are trained to handle individuals in vulnerable situations. This is a question of his opinion as an expert.
Sorry, I thought I was speaking. Overruled. Continue.
Yeah, he has to overrule that because he's
Did you
an
or do
officer.
you have any reason to believe Andrew Sharp could have been emotionally vulnerable or otherwise mentally unstable at the time you questioned him?
After he was Mirandized?
At any point at the time you questioned him?
I do not believe the man was unstable, no.
You had no, just to be clear, you had no reason to believe at any time that he could have been in shock or otherwise emotionally vulnerable.
Honor, he's already asked and answered. It's not clarification. It's trying to change the statement the witness just made.
Sustained.
You previously testified that you were aware that Andrew Sharp had lost his job earlier in the week. Is it possible that Andrew Sharp could have been emotionally vulnerable and in a state of shock after hitting a deer with his car and losing his job earlier in the week?
Objection, speculation. There's no way that he could possibly sit there and speculate as to what the mental capacity or his disposition was at the time outside of what he has already established, which, if I recall, he has advised the court that no, he did not believe that he was incapacitated or unstable. It's already been asked and answered, Your Honor.
Sustained, asked and answered.
Is it possible that Andrew Sharp felt compelled to confess based on the fact that you were questioning him without a lawyer present?
Objection, speculation calls for the witness to sit there and somehow magically know what the client may be thinking at the time, again, outside of his training.
Sustained.
Did you know of any potentially incriminating evidence at the time that you questioned Andrew Sharp?
Objection, speculation.
Your Honor, the witness previously testified that he had investigated the deer.
Overruled. Answer the question.
Did you
Repeat
know
the
of
question.
any? Did you know of any potentially incriminating evidence at the time you questioned Andrew Sharp?
After he was Mirandized, yes.
Did you make any inspection of the scene prior to Mirandizing Andrew Sharp?
Checking on the animal is the only thing I did after arriving. So, but that would be before Mirandizing him.
Didn't you just testify earlier tonight that you checked on the, and just now even, that you checked on the animal prior to Mirandizing Andrew Sharp? Did you not know of any potentially incriminating evidence as a result of checking on the animal?
The call was about a potentially injured animal. I was checking on the call that he had called in.
I understand that. The question is whether checking on the deer could have led you to be aware of any potentially incriminating evidence prior to Mirandizing Andrew Sharp.
Prior to, I don't believe the deer was a full force of saying that he did it. Just because there is a dead deer doesn't mean that he did it. It wasn't until after, when he admitted to doing it.
Could the evidence be incriminating? Let me make sure that I'm being very clear about this. I understand that you were not aware of any testimony until that testimony was provided to you, but now you investigated the deer prior to Andrew Sharp being Mirandized. We've established this, right?
I checked on the deer, correct.
Okay. And to what extent did you investigate the deer prior to Andrew Sharp being Mirandized?
Like I said before, it's injuries.
So you were aware of the deer's injuries prior to Andrew Sharp being Mirandized, but your testimony is that that could not have possibly been incriminating evidence?
I do not believe so, no.
Is this because
It is because generally when you investigate something, you get the full picture and don't jump to conclusions.
I understand that. Is your testimony that without the confession, there's no evidence of intent?
I mean, unless I can read his mind.
Yes or no answer, please. But I appreciate the joke.
Without his confession, no, it would be hard to say that it would be done on purpose.
Is there any other evidence of intent other than his confession?
Objection. It's already been asked and answered. The witness has testified that there are tire marks. They've advised their expert opinion.
I'd like a yes or no answer.
But sorry,
answer the
I'm going
question.
to forgive me, Your Honor. That was I just wish to apologize to the court for that. That was more an internal statement, sir.
Just to be clear, is there any other evidence of Andrew Sharp's intent other than his confession, in your expert opinion?
Correct. The tire treads.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, the defense is going to object at this time to the impermissible testimony on the part of the prosecution that, based on the earlier testimony prior to the objection when Ranger Avarice was interrupted and the testimony afterwards, led to a change in testimony. We ask that you not consider that change in testimony and note Ranger Avarice's attempt to answer the question prior to Mr. Cortez's admittedly unintentional comment.
Do you want to take the first or the second statement?
The first statement?
Sustained.
Does that mean that you'll be considering the first statement?
Just the first statement.
Great, thank you. At the time that Andrew Sharp was allegedly Mirandized, was he informed that he was under arrest?
It wasn't alleged. He was Mirandized. But he was informed that we were going to ask him questions.
Was he told whether he was under arrest, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes?
After he was Mirandized, yes.
In the process of being Mirandized, was he told that he was under arrest?
I guess you would have to refer to Melvin Fox's statement on what he said to him.
I'm going to pull that up here on my tablet. Did you hear Ranger Fox read Andrew Sharp his Miranda rights?
As I was passing by them back towards the deer to market, he was indeed reading his Miranda rights, correct.
Did you hear the full process of Ranger Fox reading his Miranda rights?
No, we are trained to trust our fellow Rangers to read the entire rights, as we don't cut corners.
No problem. Did Mr. Sharp sign a document to your knowledge indicating that he waived his Miranda rights?
I guess not. I don't know what document you would be referring to.
Just any document.
Again, I was away from the situation at the deer.
No problem. Did you ever hear Mr. Sharp say the words, "I don't want a lawyer"?
Again, I was at the deer away from the situation.
So no.
I can't say yes or no because I was not there. I'm not going to speak on behalf of what ifs.
What? I'm asking if you heard him.
I guess not, then no.
Ooh.
Did you hear Mr. Sharp vocalize in any way that he did not want a lawyer?
Okay.
Not from the times I was around him.
That was a good line of questioning right there.
Did you hear Mr. Sharp vocalize affirmatively that he was waiving his Miranda rights?
Again, I was not there when he was read his Miranda rights, so no.
At the time that Andrew Sharp allegedly confessed, did you or do you have any reason to believe he was distraught or upset?
I do not believe, so no.
You testified earlier that you were aware of him losing his job and being robbed by the Ballas. Does this strike you as any possible reason to believe that he might have been distraught or upset?
I mean, I don't really look at the people's psyches with my job, so I can't really determine that.
Okay. At the time that Andrew Sharp allegedly confessed, did you or do you have any reason to believe that he was in a state of shock?
One more time.
At the time that Andrew Sharp allegedly confessed, did you or do you...
Objection. Nope. Excuse me, Your Honor. I will withdraw the objection at this time.
At the time that Andrew Sharp allegedly confessed, did you or do you have any reason to believe that he was in a state of shock?
He did confess. It's not alleged, but I do not believe he was in a state of shock. He was speaking very clearly.
You mentioned earlier that he was fidgeting. You don't believe...
It has nothing to do with how he talks.
I'd like to finish the question if that's okay.
Go ahead.
You stated earlier that he was fidgeting and that he had difficulty following your sobriety test. You don't have any reason to believe, based on that evidence, that he could have been in a state of shock based on all you know about the situation and the facts that led him to be there?
Based on how he was speaking very clearly to me, no, I do not believe he was in a state of shock.
At the time that Andrew Sharp allegedly confessed, did he have a lawyer present?
Which time? Because he confessed multiple times. The first time, no, he did not, but he was read his rights that he had the right to a lawyer.
Neither time he had a lawyer present?
Unless you were in the bushes.
I was not in the bushes, unfortunately. You know, I wish I could have been there. Did you intend to interrogate Andrew Sharp after you arrived on scene?
I never intend to interrogate anybody in my job.
Do you ever intend to question anyone when you arrive on a scene?
Depends on the situation.
So you roll up on a scene and you don't ask people questions?
Again, it depends on the situation. Sometimes we don't need to ask questions. Sometimes it's just saying hello.
When you respond to a 911 call, do you often ask questions?
Most of the time, if it's a 911 call, which is an emergency call, yes, we do ask questions.
Did you imagine that you might have some questions upon arriving at the scene?
Sure, yeah.
Did you therefore intend to ask Andrew Sharp questions upon arriving at the scene?
I did not intend to ask anybody any questions, but it is there if it's needed.
Is it possible that Andrew Sharp believed you intended to interrogate him after you directed him to stand against your vehicle?
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation. Even though, again, he's an expert witness, he cannot attest to what Mr. Sharp may or may not have thought would occur once he arrived on scene.
I disagree. He can make reasonable judgments in his expert opinion about what the average or reasonable person would perceive in that situation, and also apply his expert opinions based on his knowledge of the situation.
Sustained.
Do you believe Andrew Sharp intended to maliciously crush the animal he called to ask the Rangers to help him save?
Are you asking me if I think this guy did this on purpose, pre-planned?
Well, I'm asking you to answer the question as it's phrased.
Okay,
Do
I
you-
guess re-ask.
Of course. Do you believe Andrew Sharp intended to maliciously crush the animal he called to ask the Rangers to help him save?
I don't know what his intent was.
Do you believe Andrew Sharp intended to burn the animal he called to ask the Rangers to help him save?
Again, I don't know what his intent was.
I apologize. We're going to go through a couple of these based on the text of the statute. We can just go real quick if you like.
Sure.
Do you believe that Andrew Sharp intended to drown the animal he called to ask the Rangers to help him save?
I do not know his intentions.
Do you believe that Andrew Sharp intended to suffocate the animal he called to ask the Rangers to help him save?
I do not know his intentions.
Do you believe that Andrew Sharp intended to impale the animal he called to ask the Rangers to help him save?
I do not know his intentions.
Do you believe that Andrew Sharp intended to torture the animal he called to ask the Rangers to help him save?
I do not know his intentions.
Do you believe that Andrew Sharp intended to maim the animal he called to ask the Rangers to help him save?
I do not know his intentions.
Do you believe that Andrew Sharp intended to mutilate the animal he called to ask the Rangers to help him save?
I do not know his intentions.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much. I'm sorry we had to go through those.
It is all
Oh,
right.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. Now, you testified earlier that you're not capable of reading minds. Just to make sure that I understood that correctly, can you confirm that you're not capable of reading minds?
Unless that's deep down inside me, I have no idea. But
Objection, Your Honor.
No.
Badgering the witness.
I'm so sorry. I don't intend it to be in a badgering way. I'm just trying to establish the abilities and credentials of the witness, Your Honor.
Repeat your question that you asked.
He testified earlier that he doesn't have any abilities to read minds. I just wanted to confirm that was his intended testimony. Apologies, and he cannot read minds.
Move on to the next question.
No problem. Do you have any training in psychology or psychiatry?
None.
And just to make sure that we're consistent with your testimony from the line of questions I just asked you, you weren't able to read the thoughts of Andrew Sharp at the time of the incident.
That is correct. My name is Wilson Avers, not Mr. X.
Very good. And you're not qualified in any way to testify as to the subjective beliefs or intentions of others?
in my opinion. Without being
In
able to
this
read
case.
minds, I guess I can't say what people's intentions are.
Of course. You know, that's consistent with what you've testified. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're going to switch gears a little bit here. Are you ready?
Sure.
If you do
Excellent.
not mind, I would like
Are you
to,
aware of the
head
concept of
out.
a false confession?
We need the door to be opened.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Have you ever experienced a defendant or detainee recanting a confession?
I think my skybox is fun. Dude. Green lights everywhere. Come on now. Red lights everywhere. It's ridiculous. String Quartet, number 15 in D minor.
Awesome.
It is beautiful. Wolfgang Amadeus.
Yeah.
What
So
do
what's
you
up?
think?
I don't think anything about it.
It is such a shame.
Yeah, I know, shame. So how can I help you today, man? How can I help you?
Mr. Tannenbaum, correct?
Yeah. Yep, that's me.
Would you
See-
be able to find a person?
Sure. What's their name?
A Miss Frederica Hylo.
Give me 1 second. How do you spell that?
FredrikaHylo.
Sure. I don't mind. I can look for this person.
That would be phenomenal.
Any description?
It might be a while.
No,
But she could have changed her hair, her color, her voice, for that matter. But last time I saw her, she had a dark brown hair, dark skin like mine, dark eyes, a little bit shorter than I am, close to your height.
Well, if you're just finding this person, you me to find the location that's tell you where they're at? That's all you want?
Where they frequent, where they are, who they date, if they are,
Yeah,
their job.
sure. Who do you want me to call you by?
Call me whatever. Whatever you want. Oh, it's beautiful.
What is?
The sound. It is beautiful.
Very therapeutic, yeah. The splashing of the water up against the tiles. As it's blowing down the drain. So, who's this person to you?
They are a beloved family member.
Oh. How long you've known him for?
Since birth,
You two are siblings?
Mr. Tannenbaum. Do you have any siblings of your own?
No, not really.
It is a wonderful thing to have a sister who you care for, love and adore, a family. It is beautiful. It is very, very beautiful.
When's the last time you saw them?
Years ago.
Okay. I think I can figure something out. So, usually for just information gathering, it's just a flat fee of $500.
Okay.
For a more hands-on approach, it can vary.
I will not be partaking in any hands-on approach.
Well, I'll keep you up to date with information. Just make sure you check your text messages.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And I should be able to find some information for you soon. Just might be in a week, might be in 2. But I'll do my best.
You're more worth it than going to the police.
Yeah. I heard a lot about that. You know, they're very busy. Sometimes you just need someone that's, more inclined to put themselves out there.
Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, you have a good one now.
You too, as well.
Until we meet again.
Okay, I'm gonna play some Joey after this. So. Wait, what? Oh. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna switch characters and end stream. It was a nice little chill session. Not too anything too crazy. Alright. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Peace. Getting off.